Hello, I'm Patricia McNeilly from Twin Flames Merge, Twin Flame Body, and I'm here to talk to you about this turning point that we're having. So the December solstice is a huge turning point, and in some ways you can say lions and tigers and bears, oh my, we've had just eclipse and new moon and full moon and energetic events, and a lot of people are feeling sort of the blasé part of this. And yeah, those events will still keep happening because those things happen every year. Those are part of your cosmic awareness and how things can affect you. Now, what I'm here to talk to you about in this video is love. A lot of people forget that this is all about love and togetherness and fixing the things that went wrong, and the absolute gift that is brought here, which is the gift of your brand new template for divine relationship. It is a template of relationship for 5D. Now, that's somewhat confusing for people. So people really get confused about this because they say, am I supposed to go to 5D? Or you hear people say, well, I'm already living in 5D. Let me tell you what it is so that I can simplify this as much as possible. It's love. It's being able to let love in that hasn't been able to get into the lower levels for centuries, if not eons. Now, your body needs to be able to hold that. That's a challenge, especially if there's garbage from the past in there. So when people are on this journey and they try to make it something vulgar or guttural, this is actually highly upsetting. I find it highly, upsetting that people want to somehow diminish what is happening here. This is the actual grand event of a lifetime, to be able to come to a place, get rid of garbage, put yourself together, and get back on the road and be in love. Now, when I say be in love, a lot of people think that love pertains to how they've been treated in the past. You have bad examples of love. You've been mistreated. You've had people love you and leave you. This is about the love that never leaves because it's so in you and it's into you that it can't possibly leave. That also confuses people because they will have physical sensations and they will sometimes have other things that happen to them that don't feel like love. So is this new to you? Is this something that's very new and maybe you're having some energetic experiences? You're getting woken up at night. You're not sure what this is, what's going on. If you are like me, maybe you've had experiences from the time of a child or a teenager that you couldn't really put together, but you started to piece it together only recently. You started to go on the hunt, you started to go on the search, words that can't even describe the experiences you're having. I want to remind you that this is about love, that you get it, you receive it, and it exists no matter who you are, no matter what you've done. This is your get up and go day. This is your do-over. This is your do it right, do it the right way. And that's what gets people into trouble because they're trying to repeat history. They're trying to keep this love in some little box and say, well, it belongs here, or this person belongs here, and they don't belong with me. Well, that may be so, but if it's attached to you, you have to get rid of it. And I'm the person that knows how to do this. So this video is your love, something that people call the rapture, really upped, really, really ramped up. So I have a diagram here to show you. And it's time for you to learn, because even if you've been to school or you've tried to study and you've said, well, I have, 7 chakras. Oh, no, you don't. You actually have at least a minimum of 12 to 13, possibly up to 20, and there are more, because some of those are not earthly. The first 7 that you see, those are your earthly chakra connections. Your physical human body is a dense structure, and that also can have an effect on you where you feel like, the way I describe it is like you're driving around a tank. You're safe and protected inside, but you're driving a tank around. Now, what about this love? Okay, because a lot of people out there talk about having a nice relationship, how to kowtow to the masculine, how to kowtow to the feminine, how to not rock the boat. But how do you actually get rid of things? Are you afraid of real love? Are you afraid to allow yourself to be loved? And that, my friends, is one of the keys. This is why you have to take your hands off the wheel and sometimes allow this sense of getting yourself raptured. Now, this is talked about in some ancient texts, but what does this really mean? It means lifted out of something old. Now, that is a passive process, but you are a higher consciousness person, and you have to be able to do this no matter what, under other circumstances, as needed, and actually on a daily basis. How do you do that? It doesn't mean waiting and rolling around for the next energetic event or the next gateway or something. Those do help, okay? It won't diminish that it helps, but more and more being proactive about love, about wanting things. This isn't just about making you a better person and then walking away. This isn't just about a catalyzed event and then walking away. This is about getting yourself someplace. So if you will see this small diagram I made here, that I'll move a little bit closer. Okay, pay attention. So we have 3D, and the word I have there is surviving. Okay, just surviving. People are familiar with that. What does it take to survive? Is it a dog-eat-dog existence? Are people outdoing each other for a mate? Are you trying to find the most suitable mate? Are you lying, cheating, stealing to just survive? Yeah, we're familiar with that. People who have been here have lived these kind of lives. But for the most part, people have been living at a different level. And this is where it gets very confusing for people, because it's a level that I call going from surviving to conniving. And the astral plane and your physical level of living, way too many gray areas, way too many mental acceptance of things, because there's been no way to change it. Way too many rationalizations, way too many compartmentalized. Some of the compartments are here, some of the compartments are here, with something that people dream or wish for, okay? And this is all collapsing in on people. And that is where it gets very strange and weird and physical, where you can feel physical sensations. This is like a contraction in a birth process. So when people say to you, oh, are you birthing your union? Or you even sense it and you say, feels like I'm birthing something I don't know. You go into a contraction, which is a gathering up of your strength, even if you don't feel strong. What are your strengths? Well, you do get skilled at certain things here, but you still want to throw away the garbage and the traumatic experiences. How do you do that if something terrible has happened? You have to do it through energy work and opening up your higher channels. You have a huge bringing in of who you are, where you've lived, how you've lived, what you needed to do to get by, all of the gray stuff for your gray matter, up here, all of the mental rationalizations will not cut it, because we're not going backwards. You have to go forward, and you're going here. So I call this the ascended level. Some people call it the bliss level. Some people call it just a higher vibrational level. Some people even refer to it as 5D, as they start getting along with the world better. It's not that you get along with the world, it starts getting along with you, because your energy is expectant of only the best, which is why I say you cannot make this process something vulgar, okay? You're not just here to be effed. You're not just here to be effed over. You are here for real love, really ramped up, okay? Really up-leveled. So if you feel that you actually are, trying all this stuff, doing research, doing, this, that, and the other thing, why don't you do the one thing that you actually will get results for? And that is some energy healing work. Or is this new to you, and do you have questions about it? What are those questions? Okay. Why am I waking up every night? Why am I getting up at 3, 4, 5 a.m.? Why the witching hour? Why do I hear things? Why am I hearing fragments of conversation? Why do I have head buzzing? Why is my throat bothering me? Why is my stomach lurching? These are all indications of it. So this level here is a vibrational level, and it's incumbent on you to release illnesses. It's incumbent on you to release inner child issues, which go beyond what your childhood is here. And we can do this very easily with just a series of a few sessions. Think of how many years it has taken sometimes for people just to get a level of stability going in their lives. Imagine being actually having things removed within a series of a few sessions. And that, my friends, is actually a part of the gift. Because years ago, you didn't have this. Years ago, people just wondered about this. But this is here for everybody who wishes to avail themselves. But it is going, batch of people by batch of people by batch of people. How do you be in love? Okay, you're forgetting the romance of this. You're forgetting the real impetus, your why. Remember your why. It's because you felt. Because everybody really, 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 really wants those sensations. I want you to be in your home, in the safety and privacy of your home, saying, oh, and ah, and all of those things. That, why are you watching other people? Are you expecting to have them confer something onto you? What are you here for? What are you here for? If you watch a couple, do you think that you're magically going to, have them confer their magic on? No, because their bodies are doing the same thing. Those couples that you see actually have to focus on each other. Otherwise, the magic doesn't happen. It's the same for you. If you're looking out at what all the other children on the playground are doing, and you're not focusing on love, and I mean romantic love. I don't just mean brotherly love or sisterly love or some highfalutin universal love, because that won't keep you warm at night. And that is not going to create the proper intimacy that you require, because your body remembers those things. Intimacy is something that people miss, because we are not just procreating. We're doing things at a level that, even if you know it's not it, you know that it isn't. You know when love isn't, or you should know. If you don't know what love is or what love isn't, then you need to see me, because if you're getting confused on this journey, we need to help disentangle you from whatever traumas or experiences have affected you in the past, even in this life. Not only that, your love is intended to be untouchable. It's not there for people to siphon off of it, take your sweetness, or take the sweetness of the person who truly you belong together. Why wait with it? Why not use the propulsion of the season to help yourself? Now, this one has a significance to it because this is actually coming up to a closure. This is being able to close out the gate to a lot of contention. But just because the door closes, I'll give you an example. Let's say there's a couple that's fighting. They fight and they fight and they fight. Finally, one moves to a different house and there's no more fighting. But now they've got to lick their wounds and they've got to heal and they've got to get themselves stabilized and they've got to get themselves up and running. That is analogous to what is happening for people. You still have to get your upper channels open because this is where you're intended to be. And this is actually the gathering place where you meet each other. It is a vibrational level. It does keep your light body in place, anchored at certain key spots. And this is what I teach. This is how I help people to get there so that your flow is going. You're not going to flow down here anymore. So if you're still doing karma things, are you extending karma or are you ending karma? And that's what you have to ask yourself. Are you doing things the same old way and expecting the results to be different, and yet you're getting the same results? And pay attention, because situations have a way of presenting themselves again. And that's your opportunity to say, am I doing the same old thing? Or is this the same old situation? Now, let's talk about love. When does this happen for you? Okay, this is a very popular term. People want to know what it is. And it is a very high level of love. And that's something that I don't hear everybody talk about. Like, it's only for, privileged people. And I'm here to tell you, if you get your channels open, it's here for you too. Those experiences are here for you. There can be limits and challenges, such as if you are living with a karmic partner, or even if you're living with someone else, such as a child, a parent. It can be additionally challenging, but I still help you so that you can start achieving some of the results that are important for getting where you're going. You're not intended to continue living in the land of karma anymore, even if you still see other people doing it. That's not for you. That's not for the lovers. That is actually not conducive to your twin flame union. Your union actually has to be able to exclude the world for the most part. Doesn't mean you don't work, doesn't mean you don't interact with family, and that gets scary for people. They say, well, what about my family? What about my friends? What about children? What about this? You would be amazed at actually how it works so that you bring harmonious relationships to life. And that you bring harmony to relationships you never thought you'd be harmonized with, or that they would be able to be in harmony with you, or harmonious. No matter how much you wished and you prayed. This is a body thing. This is about keeping the world out and keeping the love in. Would you like to have some higher level experiences which will open up for you in the weeks to come and over the next year? Of course you would. Would you like to feel like you're just here and things are going well for you, and that you've genuinely gotten rid of so much of the heaviness, not just on your own behalf, but for both of you? Because what you do for your other, actually, when you do it for yourself, there is that effect. You share the same stuff. You share a soul. You share the same DNA. It goes to who it needs to go to, because of your love. It goes directly to that person. Are you having trouble letting go of the past? Are you having trouble letting go and wondering why things seem to be shutting down on you and wondering when this is going to happen? You're in ownership of new connections and codes inside you that need to open up and really expand and blossom out. So you're actually at a very good place. But this is next level. This is next level. This is leveling up. This is getting yourself up to that ascended level. What about addictions? Well, I'm going to make a tip to you. If you can do without addictions, smoking, drinking, marijuana, do without it. That's just a strong suggestion. Do without it. Do without the fighting. Do without the contention. But it's sometimes hard to unclick from people because sometimes they want to. And what do you do then? Well, we will talk about some of this. And I have classes on this. You can always look at the link below and look for my current class or on my website. Now, when people start moving, okay, there's always the you time. This is for you. It's your turn. It's your turn to feel the actual angelic side of who you belong to. Because you are not just human, you're not just simply human, you are human angelic. That is what your subtle bodies are. Those are the angelic side of you. And I know this is a challenge in belief because of what some people are actually taught. They're sometimes taught that there's nothing, or that you're just electricity, or there's a random energy. No, this is personal. And I say to you, forget about the belief. Get the experience that really hammers it home and lets you know that this is real. It really is. It's really, really, really real. And it's the kind of real love that makes you not want to get out of bed. Not get out of bed. And I don't mean like you don't want to get out of bed because you're going, oh, time for another day, time to make the donuts, time to get up and, drive to here or there. No, I'm talking about the like languid, sensual, passionate, deep intimacy where you're getting to know each other on any level. The part where the heart communication goes beyond mental thoughts. And you are just the most adorable, sweetest, beautiful thing to your love because you are. And many people have not felt this or not felt it in a really long time. And it is not something from here. It's something that takes you beyond. So it is a whole new level because the 5D is for love couples. The union is metaphysical. So twin flame union is metaphysical. Twin flame togetherness is physical. I have one more thing to share with you that I want to tell you. So do you get inspired? You have to get to a level where you let your love inspire you because love does so many things. Love heals. Love helps you build trust again. For people that feel loved, they feel magnanimous. They feel sensual. They feel sensitive but not empathic. I'm talking about a level here where you're not the empath, but you can still sense and feel things. So how many of you are fans of a show called Outlander? I somehow really, really clicked into that. So I'm going to relate this, the conversation that the female in the show tells herself. Her name is Claire. So Claire is like kind of in her mind a little bit, and we're privy to it as we're watching the show. And she has traveled through time to be with him because she thought he was dead. But he's not dead. There was trouble and she thought he's dead. And there's a clue that he is alive. And she just is compelled to go to him. And as they come to each other, they feel a little bit like strangers. but not completely, because they had already been married. They already had known each other. But now this 20-year time period has elapsed, and they're a little bit nervous and shy with each other. So they have some dinner right after they see each other, and after he faints because he can't believe his eyes, and they decide to sit and eat. And she says, "We ate slowly, savoring each other as much as the meal before us. We began reminiscing about our life together those many years ago, then carefully filling in the details of our time apart. We began to know each other again and to discover whether we were in fact the same two who had in fact existed as one, and whether we might be one again. It was the question foremost in our minds, and we could scarcely be otherwise." I found this so twin flamey, absolutely twin flamey. The words belong to either the writer on the show or Diana Gabaldon, who wrote the books, but it's twin flamey in its essence, because this is the same thing that a lot of you have, those hesitations of what's happened in the time that's elapsed between we saw each other. I have that. I've only ever dreamed my twin. Do you have that? What hesitations do you have? What small nervousnesses or shyness or something do you need help in overcoming? You know in your heart that you've been one already. But as you separate, just these words here, whether we were in fact the same two who had in fact existed as one, and whether we might be one again. That is what you're here for. That getting raptured into a state where you are in your oneness, hands down, sensual, intimate, highly erotic, and nothing guttural or vulgar. And I throw it out to you. Come, join, feel, experience, try an energy session that gets you to a level where you need to be, that helps you easily detach things, remove it, full removal. Forgiveness is a level that we talk about, but how magnanimous is it to feel so in love that you want to bless everything? That's who you are. So thank you so much for watching, and the links are below in the description. Have a happy solstice. I will be back with more. Bye.